When you want a hot meal
without a big deal.
Hot Pockets.
Ham and cheese.
Pizza, please.
Barbecue, it's for you.
The tasty hot meal without a big deal. Hot Pockets.
Welcome back to Real Business Roundtable.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us today. What are we talking about? We're talking about boosting profitability. Please like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Share it with your family members. But today we're gonna bring some value.
We do want to talk about. Can you pass me that cup?
This cup?
Yeah, we do want to talk about these.
Why?
Can I see that cup, please?
Oh, sure.
We do want to talk about this cup here. You know, you left one of these in my car.
I know.
Okay. All right.
I know.
Welcome to Real
It was
Business
in the back.
Roundtable.
I didn't realize.
We're here to talk about how to boost profitability. And Cam, when I do this with my hands,
Oh my God! Every episode,
sometimes I do this and nothing pops up, and I'm watching the episode. I'm like,
this guy.
he has a hot pocket in the microwave.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what you gonna pick? Hot Pockets. When a hungry function comes for lunch, what you gonna pick? Hot Pockets.
Hot Pocket, filled with delicious pepperoni pizza, chicken and cheddar, or ham and cheese in a crispy pocket.
When it's late at night and you wanna take a bite, what you gonna pick? Hot Pockets.
The hot meal in a pocket.
What you gonna pick? Hot Pockets.
Try mini pockets too.
He doesn't have time to put that graphic in. No. But seriously, today we're talking about how to boost profitability. What is profitability? Profitability is the fruit that your business yields by doing a damn good job, bringing sales, serving your customer, making your customers happy. It's what it produces. So if you compare your business,
I was about to say,
if you can,
yo, please make an edit out of that.
All right, serious. If you, I caught that. You didn't even need to edit that. I can just edit it for you.
I can just do the editing
All right.
for you.
So, if you imagine your business being a fruit tree, and I know I always say this, but it's very, very close to being
How to get
to
the
the
most
analogy.
fruit.
Yeah, how to get the most yield from the fruit, how to get the tastiest, juiciest fruit. You water the tree, you give the tree sun, you give the tree food, and it starts to grow, and now it's bearing juicy apples. And to get the juiciest apples, you got to give it the right food. You got to, set it up for success. Same way in your business. Now, when you're running a business, a lot of people, based on what they see on the news or what they forecast for sales that are coming in a specific quarter, sometimes they'll get nervous and they'll start cutting things. I want to talk about boosting profitability and cutting certain things in order to boost profitability and other ways to boost profitability. But I do want to lead with the whole cost-cutting element, which I think is a big mistake that people make, where just across the board, they cut the things that actually drive in the business, which is they're cutting the thing that could solve the problem that they're having in the first place.
Or they're cutting quality. It could be many different things. One thing that I find is tough with this topic that I feel like a lot of people would relate to is, always bringing in sales, right? But bringing in sales makes the cost of providing this service or whatever it may be up. It brings it up in most cases. If it's a product volume, you get, discounts, whatever. But of a service, normally
in certain situations.
Yeah. And so when you talk about cutting costs, or not even cutting costs, higher profitability with these certain businesses, it's tough.
So I'll give you the number one mistake that big businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses make constantly is when things get tight or you forecast it's going to be tight, they'll cut the thing that actually drives in the revenue, like advertising or like lead gen or whatever, biz dev. Like they'll actually cut a piece of that. If you expect a downturn, ramp up your advertising. I know it's bias coming from me, but that's what you need to do. That's what I do. When the economy gets weird and shaky and like this like shit going on in the news, I jack up. I jack up my efforts to make up for the slow decision making and stuff like that. But I see people make this mistake all the time. It's like if you want to save money in your business, think of two things. What's going to impact growth? Okay. What's going to impact product, service, quality, and delivery? So look at those two things. Delivering the product or service and growing. Do not touch those two. Those two go into a safe. Hold on. Closed. Close the box. Don't go in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Don't be tempted to go in the box. Don't mess with quality and growth. I'm serious. The other thing.
No, you're not.
Sometimes you like looking at me. I'm thinking like you're trying to like
I'm paying attention.
telepathically tell me. So listen, you touch other things like okay, you go down like your costs and what like the easy way to do it is you go into your bank statement and you go, okay, what am I spending money on? Or you go into your Amex statement. Okay, what am I spending money?
Subtle flex.
No, like let's look at what we're spending money
Yeah,
on,
of
and then
course.
you ask yourself this question: does this position me for growth? Does this impact product or service quality? Remember this: growth, product and service quality. Don't touch those two. But other things like little luxuries, like, oh, you know, I have this extra level of insurance on my company that you'll never use and it's costing you $1,000 a year. You might want to cut that. Like you might want to cut things that you really don't see would impact product or service quality or growth. Here's another thing. Someone might be doing something that's designed for growth and they want immediate results and they'll cut that. But if they just were patient, because you have to ask yourself, will it eventually bring growth in? Is it a best practice to do this thing? Will it bring in growth? Because I don't want to go down the SEO hole, but so for example, so certain things take time. So you're doing search engine optimization, you're trying to rank on Google and stuff like that, or you're trying to use data, you're running your ads, you're trying to let your ads fine tune. No, seriously. And say it's taking time to build up. Don't be a nervous Nelly and pull the plug, because all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. Boom. There is no benefit to that. You actually are yourself. And I see people make this mistake sometimes. So don't cut anything that's in the growth box. Cut the things that are extras. Like maybe, I don't know, you want to give some examples of other things that people...
I think that, one thing I was going to bring up is what I noticed talking to a lot of businesses with growth, people will lose track of some of these costs. They'll lose track of them. They'll have multiple of this or multiple of that, and they won't even realize subscriptions, whatever it may be, vendors of some sort, and they don't even notice because, with growth, there's a little bit of, confusion, maybe a little bit of unorganized ness. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it, but that's when going back into the statements and looking at, and really, it's almost like vetting out your own process, vetting out your business. It's like you want to go in and see what you're doing, because with growth, I can say this firsthand, I've had things that I'm paying for that I don't even realize that I'm not using. It'll be $30 here, $50 there a month, whatever it is. It doesn't,
There was once an app that it wasn't for business, but just to...
Oh, yeah.
There was once an app that I could not cancel.
Really? I thought you were going to talk about...
I tried and I tried and I tried, and it ended up me emailing them bullshit. Dude, I renewed this app for 3 years, and I only had it for 3 years because I didn't know how to cancel it.
Yeah.
And it was like $50 a year. But I was like, I never use this. It was like a stupid little thing. I don't want to get off topic, but I do want to talk about, aside from like not cutting things that you can do to make yourself more profitable from a product or service standpoint. Go ahead.
I think a lot of it has to do with the structure of your process. So your process of bringing in sales, your process of, obtaining and providing that quality of product or service, whatever it may be. I think, some businesses find themselves in a position where they have to figure out how to become more profitable, where if you strategically set yourself up with the right processes and systems in place, you will become more profitable rather than fixing it. Position yourself to, you're positioning yourself to grow. No matter what, you always want to grow. You want to bring in more sales. So you got to kind of understand the industry to make sure that you have those systems and processes in place so that you can be as profitable as possible.
So,
yeah.
So I'm going to give the audience an example. So let's take a service. A service has people who fulfill the service, no matter what it is. What you need to look at when it comes to service and hiring people to provide the service is efficiency. That's the number one thing. Efficiency is the amount of work. Hey, you don't need to have a hot pocket in the oven. So the efficiency is the amount of work output that comes out in a specific period of time. Most people break it down by the hour. They say, okay, average business owner will go, okay, I pay this person X amount per hour. What are they putting out per hour? And then they'll factor in, what they're bringing in for revenue from that client for the service. So the amount of work coming out that's being produced by that talent for the service is very important. Mm-hmm. Are they producing 2 pieces an hour, 5 pieces an hour, 1 piece an hour? Let's say it's 1 piece an hour. Okay, what is your company making for revenue for that piece? Very, very important.
Yeah.
And if you find an employee who does produce at a higher clip, then they're entitled to bonuses. They're entitled to incentives for being highly productive to the point where the company's in a position to become more profitable. I believe that should be a reward system. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about a product.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a product gets a little bit interesting.
No hot pockets, just
product. I know. He's not going to ever leave you alone about that. You don't know what a hot pocket is?
What? Hold on.
Never?
You got to do the zoom.
Yo, I didn't have a Pop-Tart till I was in middle school, and you're telling me you don't know what a Hot Pocket is?
Hot Pocket.
Yum. Wait, no, that's Red Robin.
Kinda.
but it's a big. Hot Pockets are fire.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. Product businesses.
Product. Back to topic.
When it comes, this is kind of like what I was talking about before.
I want Hot Pockets dancing.
I think especially the
across the screen. Hot Pockets. Tons of them. More Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. All right. We got to chill out. All right.
I think that what I was saying before, when it comes to setting yourself up to be as profitable as possible, that mostly I feel like it's very almost more controllable in a product business than it is in a service business, because in a product business you just have to facilitate your vendors, you have to facilitate your fulfillment centers, your distribution, where you're getting the product from, how much is the product and how much can you bring it down. But that all comes from volume.
Exactly.
And volume comes from
cost.
Sales.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The demand.
Yeah.
Okay. That is another thing that's very, very important. Is when you're working with a factory, when you're this is under the product category. Hold on. I have
Too much.
I have to
There's gonna
reinforce.
Wait. Please put a count of each time he does that in this episode.
That's such a great idea. That is such a great idea.
Wow, I have a good idea.
We are talking about.
Yo, it's the end of the month.
We are talking about product profitability. It is very important that when you're working with a factory to produce a product, that you negotiate a deal where maybe there isn't a high minimum order amount. Try to get the lowest price possible from that factory to produce that product. Let's say it's overseas. It happens a lot. And let's say you are aware of a proven supply chain. You know it's going to work out. They're proven factories. They can send you samples. They'll send you a sample finished product to try to get your business. It's very important that you maintain the integrity of your product if you ever do decide to change manufacturers.
That's a tough,
That is extremely risky.
Yeah.
Because you might get HSW factory. It's a made-up name, just in case there is an HSW. And you might have XYZ manufacturing. And XYZ comes out of the blue and goes, you know what? I can do this for half price. That could catch the attention of an entrepreneur who's thinking of profitability. Don't let the profitability cloud your judgment. They need to make sure that they use the same alloys, the same rubbers, the same plastics, the same everything. It needs to function the same way. It needs to be exactly the same. So if it's a repeat purchase product where it's a consumable, it's a disposable, that the customers don't realize that it's different. Because the second your existing clientele sees that it's cheaper and sees that it's a piece of shit out of the blue, they're going to know you changed manufacturers. They're gonna, like, people aren't stupid. They're going to figure it out. Go, why is my razor falling apart? The blades keep popping out. What's going on? Then they write the manufacturer or they write the company, and then the company's angry, yada, yada, yada. So don't be blurred and don't be confused or misled by the cheaper price. Maintain product quality. If you want to improve quality, more power to you. That's even better. But never impact integrity and quality of your product. What you could do is say, hey, I have this product that I made with this factory. It needs to be 100% the same exact thing with the same exact quality. Send me 5 samples. Then you get the 5 samples. Test them out. Whatever. Say it's a pen. We're testing it out. We're testing out the ink. Whatever. Make sure they use the same ink. Long story short is, don't make that move until you are absolutely certain that nothing will be interrupted. And let's say you're saving yourself, 50% is really generous. Let's just say you're going to save yourself 20%. 20% on your overhead. Now you're more profitable. Always remember, never impact anything related to growth, or never impact anything that's related to quality. Boom. So, that's the main thing with products. Also, if you're working with a factory that's producing this product and they say, hey, we can produce 3,000 of these per hour. The new factory, you should ask them, hey, can you produce 5,000 per hour?
Mm-hmm.
Always try to constantly improve.
And that comes in, that part even brings up another big topic, which is just inventory. Just like, how much there's so many moving parts to it.
Yeah, so if you want to pay for warehouse space, you got to factor in, if I have a warehouse full of this product, you need to make sure that you have the right promotional growth advertising in place to push all of that inventory.
Because you don't want to be sitting on hundreds. You don't want to be sitting on anything.
Then you need to actually factor in the lead time, how long it takes to actually get that product actually landed, so you can forecast, if I'm moving 3,000 units a day and I have 3 million units in my warehouse, you can forecast, based on my advertising strategy, I'm moving an average of this many products. In 45 days, that warehouse is going to be empty. The lead time is 60 days, so I better get moving. You're going to have 15 days or whatever. I'm just throwing out examples, but you want to factor in that timing so you don't run out of product.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that time. Is there anything else you wanted to throw out there?
I just want to make sure that people don't think that we're sponsored by Hot Pockets.
Product and service, quality, efficiency, time management, goodbye. Product and service, quality, efficiency, time management.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some value from it. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified every time we post a new episode. And check us out on Instagram for clips and updates. I'm holding my hands up because hopefully there's something that's like an
product service
or something. Hot Pockets, product and service, quality, efficiency, time management. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching.